It's the Bobby Moe Show, your favorite Robert Morris University all-colonial podcast. I'm Chris Shovlin, the play-by-play voice of Robert Morris University football and basketball. Today, we're talking about men's lacrosse. We have two big guests coming at you and a big, big weekend for lacrosse here at home at Joe Walton Stadium to talk about. We'll do that next right here on the Bobby Moe Show, presented by Dollar Energy Fund. This winter, many families in our area are struggling to make ends meet and keep their homes warm. You can make a difference by making a donation to Dollar Energy Fund. Your contribution will be matched dollar for dollar by Dollar Energy Fund's utility partners, and 100% of all donations will be used to help local families maintain or restore basic utility services. No one should have to face a Pittsburgh winter in the cold. Help spread the warmth to your neighbors in need and donate today at dollarenergy.org. It's the Bobby Moe Show. I'm Chris Shovlin, the play-by-play voice of Robert Morris University football and basketball. And today's Bobby Moe Show is brought to you by Dollar Energy Fund, helping our neighbors in need maintain basic utility service since 1983. Visit dollarenergy.org or text the word WARM, W-A-R-M, to 53555. That's WARM to 53555. Well, as promised, we're talking about Robert Morris University men's lacrosse, and our first guest is James Leary, who apparently set a school record, right, for CTOs. I understand that for a while there you thought you were at 6, which would have been like tied for second place all time in a contest for Robert Morris, but as the coaches reviewed the tape, went back and reviewed the numbers, they said, no, it was 7. So you have a school record then, right?
Yeah. I did notice I got it, but it was up to my teammates, so put me in that position.
All right, super. Well, we're talking about defense when we're talking about CTOs, and obviously defense is a big part of lacrosse. Everybody, considers, no matter what sport it is, scoring is a big deal, but let's talk about the defensive side of lacrosse and how meaningful that is.
Yeah, definitely, because defense can set the tone. Defense playing strong and make the offense play better, especially this year with a new coach, more defensive mindset. It's really helping us out. I think our defense is at the best. I've been here for 3 years, and this is the best I think it's ever been. So,
stopping goals is equal to scoring goals, right?
Yeah, I think it's even better, actually.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do, and they say defense wins championships. You're from New Fairfield, Connecticut, and I asked you before we started taping today's podcast if that was part of Fairfield or if it was, closer to some other spot in Connecticut. You're telling me it's out kind of in the middle of Connecticut.
Yep, it's in Fairfield County, but it's nowhere close to anything big. No one's really know where New Fairfield is. It's a small town. I'm the only guy from Connecticut, so it's far away from here, I'll tell you that.
But you're an hour away from the city, right?
Yeah, from New York City.
Okay. So do you get into New York City? And
I do, yeah. I'm a New York Jets fan, too.
Oh, man.
Love the New York Jets, I'll tell you that. But,
oh, man, you just struck a nerve with me because I've been a Jets fan since 1965.
Actually.
Even though I'm a Pittsburgher and I'm a Steeler fan, I have to say it, but I am the biggest New York Jets fan in Western Pennsylvania, mainly because I grew up near where Joe Namath grew up and have been following the Jets since then. Of course, Joe Walton, who was the coach here at Robert Morris, was the head coach of the Jets for a long time, but there are a lot of kids from our area here in Western Pennsylvania who actually play for the Jets. So what made you a Jets fan?
Probably my dad. My dad's a Jets fan. I've been at Jets games my whole life. Jets are basically my pride and joy, even though haven't given me a lot of joy in the past few years, past my whole life, basically.
I know. I tell people all the time, they've been breaking my heart since 1969.
That's what my dad says. Same old Jets.
Same old Jets. Well, we have another kid locally who is playing for the Jets this year, so that'll give me more of a reason to cheer for them than Jason Whitehead, who was traded from Tampa Bay.
He's from Pennsylvania?
He's from Central Valley High School, which is about, 15 minutes from the Robert Morris campus. Great guy, and Darrell Reeves' cousin.
Is he now?
So,
okay.
I can't believe we're talking about Jets football here on the Bobby Moe podcast. Dylan Thompson's going to slug me over the head for doing this. But, obviously growing up in the Northeast, it seems to me that you probably grew up in lacrosse territory, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. My dad didn't know anything about lacrosse, but my coach, who's my high school coach, he brought me into it in first grade. And ever since then, it's basically been all my friends been playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
Lacrosse has been surrounding me. I talk to my friends here, and a lot of them don't know about lacrosse. A lot of them didn't have the same experience that I had growing up, which is kind of different for me, different for them.
Sure. Was it big in high school, or is it big as a club team? Or
it's big in high school. It's pretty big in high school. It was big in the youth too for me, actually. It's like you play for your town in the youth, and you get to high school, you're still playing for your town. I always thought playing for your high school was bigger than playing for clubs because it meant more. You wanted to win that state championship. You wanted to go for that.
Sure. That's pretty cool. James Leary is my guest. We're talking about Robert Morris lacrosse, and unfortunately we slipped into a conversation about the New York Jets, but please forgive us for that. Speaking of Robert Morris lacrosse, how did you get here to Robert Morris? I mean, was this a school that you knew about, or did they come and find you? Did they recruit you?
The first time I ever heard of Robert Morris was when they beat Kentucky in the in the basketball tournament, and then so that's when I noticed it. I did some research in other schools. And Robert Morris is one of the schools that you put on a list. And then I played in the fall tournament. And then I got reached out to by the old coach, Morasti. He reached out to me, and we got a visit going. And then once I came here, I kind of fell in love with it.
That's pretty cool. You're playing for Craig McDonald right now. What kind of inexperience is that for you?
I love it, to be honest. He's a defensive coach, and he brings that intensity that I think I like to match. And it's just the way he runs practices, the way he runs the team. It's something that I think I also stand for, so I just really enjoy being out there every day for him.
I know you lost your first 3 games to Duke, Bucknell, and Stony Brook. Those were tough losses, some close matches, no question about it. But you won 5 of your last 6 right now, so obviously the team has turned things around.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was like the new coach. We were a different type of team. We didn't know what our identity was, but once we started to click, I think right now we're really starting to click, and it's going to go well for us moving forward.
What's been the best game for you so far?
The best game for us, I think, defensively, I think it was Marquette. Marquette, we were on our head. We stopped about like 7-man downs, but as a team, it was probably Canisius. So we beat down them 23-6. So
that's a beatdown. There's no question about it. And of course, the Marquette one was a 10-7 victory over Marquette. I know that there's some travel coming up in the near future. You have a home match this coming Saturday at 3:00, and then you have to go to Utah. So that's going to be a little bit of an extensive road trip.
Yeah, that, and there's always that bad blood with Utah because things happened in the past with the old coach leaving to go there. So I think that's one that's been marked on our calendar for a long time, and we should be ready for it.
A little payback in order. James, thanks for joining us on the Bobby Moe Show today, and JETS, Jets.
Yep, thank you for having me.
All right, we're coming back with more men's lacrosse next on the Bobby Moe Show.
When your employer gives you a choice of health plans, choose UPMC Health Plan. You'll have access to the best doctors and hospitals, including the top-ranked care of UPMC and many community hospitals near you. UPMC Health Plan gives you an award-winning healthcare concierge team and a partner who puts you and your health at the center of all we do. Choose what's best. Choose UPMC Health Plan. Visit upmchealthplan.com/best for more information.
Welcome back to the Bobby Moe Show, your favorite podcast that is exclusively Robert Morris Colonials, and we are sponsored by the Dollar Energy Fund. Taggart Clark joins us right now. He wears number 41 on the Robert Morris men's lacrosse team. As we said earlier, the club has won 5 of its last 6. And Taggart, you've become rather topical as far as scoring hat tricks, from what I understand this year. Tell me about the scoring burst that you've been putting out.
Yeah, I really just think it's about the guys around me. I mean, if you look at the attack line that I'm on with Danny and Course, I mean, me and Danny came in together, same class, so we've been working together with scout teams throughout the years and have found that chemistry together. And Corson I've known for a long time. We go way back to high school together, and he was also my captain on the beaches. So then coming here and playing 4 years with him, we really got that chemistry as well. So I think that's just how I found my success, just chemistry and working with those two guys makes it pretty easy.
That's pretty cool. We were talking to James earlier about the defensive side of lacrosse, and obviously, we were talking about how important it is to stop goals from going in, but you're talking about scoring goals and scoring them in clumps. So that's big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think you talked to James earlier. James, key part of our defense, and I think Coach Mack's done a great job of really fine-tuning our defense. I mean, we've had some struggles over the past few years, but I think all the guys have bought in, and they've done a great job and made my life easier on the offensive end because now we don't have to score as many goals to beat teams, so it's been pretty easy for us.
And the team's really turned things around, winning 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, I mean, we addressed that at the start. We lost a few games, dropped ones that we feel like we should have had. But no, I think all the guys have fully bought in. I mean, it's a bit of a different experience when you get a first-year coach. You don't know what to expect, really, but I think all the guys completely trust and have bought in now. So we're starting to figure it out, so it feels good.
You've been in some close games, too, and, that's got to keep the intensity up the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, you love playing in games like that. I'm thinking to our Drexel game. That was... You want to play in a blowout or get blown out. You want to play in games like that where the intensity, every play matters, and it's just a heck of a lot of fun to be a part of.
I asked James this earlier. What was your favorite game so far this season, the best game?
Favorite game so far? I'd say, honestly, that Drexel game. I mean, I think we beat them 15-14. It was close the whole game. I think we went down a little bit early, but no, just being a part of a game like that, especially with a rival like Drexel, it's got the best of us over the past couple of years. It feels good to take 2 points from them.
I know you have a big match coming up on Saturday at home at 3 o'clock, and Bellarmine is coming in, right?
Yeah, their second conference game, so we got to keep that rolling. We didn't necessarily play our best game last weekend against Detroit, but we found a way to win, which is good. And, yeah, Bellarmine coming up, another conference game, so it's going to be a big one for the boys.
How'd you get started playing lacrosse? I mean, is this something that happened in high school? Is it your club team, whatever?
No, actually, my dad played in the NLL for the Toronto Rock for a while. So I just kind of got into the game through him. I loved going to his games as a kid and hanging out in that atmosphere. And obviously he introduced me to the game, so I started being a Canadian kid too. I didn't play much field growing up, but I played a lot of box lacrosse and relatively easy transition over field lacrosse around high school age.
That's pretty cool. A hockey player too?
Of course.
Yeah. I was going to say, you grew up about 50 kilometers north of Toronto in a town called Stouffville?
Stouffville, yeah.
Stouffville, Ontario. Tell me about growing up there.
Yeah, little farm town, about 45 minutes away from Toronto. Great spot to grow up in. I mean, classic Canadian small town, good hockey. Found not necessarily the best lacrosse up there, but you know what? I found my way here, so that's all that matters.
I noticed, and I did a little bit of homework on your hometown, and I noticed on Google Maps how many golf courses are around your hometown. I mean, did you get into that as well?
Oh, yeah. Love to golf. I think I've probably worked at about half of them. I've worked at a lot of golf courses in that area over the years. But, yeah, no, I love I'm getting excited now that the weather's warming up to bring the sticks out again and start smacking them because I love to golf.
We always talk about hockey and golf pretty much have the same motion, the same swing. Does lacrosse play into this at all with your golf game?
Yeah, I mean, similar movements, I'd say. I'm not sure if one helps the other. I think I'm probably a better lacrosse player than I am a golfer. But, no, yeah, similar movements for sure. And
you don't have to worry about ice when it comes to comparing the two sports to hockey, because I know playing in some of the weather conditions that you played in so far this year haven't been ideal.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's been up and down. It seems like every week. It seems like it's warm throughout the week, and then it's chilly for game day. But we try not to let that stuff affect us. I mean, we just next play mentality, whatever, rain or shine, we'll play in it.
That's pretty cool. Your dad played professional lacrosse. Does he still give you tips? Does he give you pointers? Does he watch your games and give you a call and give you advice?
Oh yeah, he's still a coach in the NLL too. So he's
cool. And
he's coached me in the beaches and he coached me all my way up. So yeah, he's still watching into my games, giving me tips and tricks. Mostly supportive, but no, definitely been a helping hand in my life. And
great to have that kind of critique, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure, especially from a mind like that.
Absolutely. Taggart Clark from the men's lacrosse team here at Robert Morris. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. I know you've got quite a few more games coming up this season, a little bit of travel in the future, and we hope you do great. Keep getting those hat tricks for us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. We're going to come back and wrap up the Bobby Moe Show coming up next.
This winter, many families in our area are struggling to make ends meet and keep their homes warm. You can make a difference by making a donation to Dollar Energy Fund. Your contribution will be matched dollar for dollar by Dollar Energy Fund's utility partners, and 100% of all donations will be used to help local families maintain or restore basic utility services. No one should have to face a Pittsburgh winter in the cold. Help spread the warmth to your neighbors in need and donate today at dollarenergy.org.
The Bobby Mo Show, your favorite Colonial podcast, is supported by Dollar Energy Fund, and they help our neighbors in need maintain basic utility service and have been doing so since 1983. Visit dollarenergy.org or text the word WARM, W-A-R-M, to 53555. That's WARM to 53555. The Bobby Mo Show is produced by Dylan Thompson. Let's take a look at the schedule ahead. As we promised, a lot of big happenings in lacrosse. Both lacrosse teams, men's and women's, got wins at Detroit Mercy this past Saturday. And this weekend, they'll have a doubleheader. Women starting first at noon against Kent State. The men will take on Bellarmine at 3 o'clock p.m. Both of those games will be on ESPN+. Plus, there is a lot of wild stuff going on this weekend. They'll be hosting a party at the Plaza. It starts at 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. There'll be a DJ plus a beer garden at Joe Walton Stadium. So come party at the Plaza and then get ready for a doubleheader with the women's first and the men following up. That's Robert Morris University Lacrosse, noon and 3 this coming Saturday with a party on the Plaza starting at 11 a.m. In between, the women's lacrosse team will get their MAC championship rings from last season. That's in between those two games. And then at halftime in the men's game, we're going to welcome back the 2012 NEC championship lacrosse team. They'll be honored at the half. Women's softball, they went 1-2 in a 3-game set versus Cleveland State last weekend. They will have a 3-game set at Northern Kentucky starting on Friday. And women's track will be at George Mason at the George Mason Invitational on Saturday. Men's golf at the Abarta Collegiate Invitational both Sunday and Monday. That's the Bobby Mo Show for this week. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.